With Fantastic Four First Steps, we now have 5 Fantastic Four movies, so why not rank them? Now the thing is, this is not fantastic. There's nothing really in here that screams Fantastic Four. The entire first half of the movie is about these scientists working on the machine, and you just name the scientists Fantastic Four characters so you can actually slap the title Fantastic Four on there. And then when we do get to the second act, it's messy, it's choppy, scripts all over the place, and the stuff we actually want to see the Fantastic Four doing is all in a time jump. By the time the movie ends, we never actually see the Fantastic Four saving the city. I'm pretty sure the city doesn't even know about the Fantastic Four yet. This was such a wild take, this was such a risk to take for the Fantastic Four. It's a wild origin story. It has concepts that still make it the Fantastic Four, but a lot of it is risky. It feels like a completely different movie. It feels like a completely different genre. It just feels like they had an idea for a science movie and then just squeezed Fantastic Four in there to make money. Nothing in here is really Fantastic Four. This is such a weak, lazy adaptation. And I can appreciate it for the risk factor, and I think the cast does a good job. But the only good thing about this movie is the meme factor. Now, this is a Fantastic Four movie that was never really supposed to come out because it was only made to keep the rights for the Fantastic Four, which is a bummer since the studio kind of did these actors dirty like that and just the entire crew in general. And it's a shame the studio did something like that, but for the movie itself, it's not that great. I would say not fantastic, but I wouldn't really say it's on that level either. Now, don't get me wrong, it's significantly better than the previous movie I mentioned, but overall, the movie is messy, it's choppy, but I enjoy it that way. CGI is bad, story is bad, some acting is bad, but there's a lot in here that still works for the Fantastic Four. The budget is extremely low, pretty low, that a lot of the moments that you're just laughing at, just for how bad that was put together, how bad that was CGI'd. But, like I said, there's a lot in here that is accurate to the Fantastic Four. For the movie with the title that said never released, it's not that bad. If you read that title, you're expecting a movie that's terrible. It's not that. It's watchable, but extremely messy. It sucks it never came out because, like I said, it gets a lot right, but it's messy. Now, this is a film with a lot of problems. It's trying to tell way too many stories. We get Silver Surfer, Galactus, wedding problems, Doctor Doom coming back, power problems with Johnny. There is so many different storylines happening in just an hour and a half. You can't do that all. It's like they had a plan for a trilogy, but the studio said no to that third film, so they had to cram it all in the second movie. Because the movie very much feels like that. It's rushed, it's choppy, you can tell everything's just crammed together, and at the beginning, some characters were completely acting out of character. But it's an overstuffed movie that is so watchable and enjoyable. This is not a bad movie. There's a lot to enjoy about this movie. Although it is trying to tell so much story, a lot of that story, I think they did well. Now, don't get me wrong, Doctor Doom is not a good story. I don't know why they brought him back. They should have just left him there. But what they do with Silver Surfer and Galactus, of what we see of him, is good. Now, not as good as the newer one I will talk about, but I really enjoyed what they did with the Silver Surfer and Galactus. And even Johnny's power problems, that worked for me. Now, I do enjoy this version of the characters, which probably helps my enjoyment a bit more out of this movie. So although it is messy and choppy, there is still a lot of enjoyment to be had with the cast, the characters, and just the Silver Surfer storyline. It's good, but not fantastic. I really enjoyed this adaptation of the Fantastic Four, especially Chris Evans. He is by far the standout of this entire cast. This is your classic comic book origin story. That is what's so enjoyable about it. It's not trying to be this big complex origin story about the scientists that get powers, learn how to use them, and become the Fantastic Four. It's simple like that. That's what's so great about it. Now, Doctor Doom is yet again completely wasted. He's in here for a short amount of time. Now, yes, out of all the Fantastic Four movies on this list, He is fantastic in this movie compared to all the other ones, but he is still completely wasted. He could have had this huge build up throughout the entire movie, but instead, he grabs the mask from like a, I don't know, hotel, puts that on, he's Doctor Doom, and then he's defeated so quickly that we're not able to fully get Doctor Doom's potential. The MCU will get Doctor Doom right though, in Doomsday and Secret Wars. I know that for a fact. So at least we'll get a good version of Doctor Doom, but he's just wasted in all these Fantastic Four movies. But I love this adaptation of the Fantastic Four. I really enjoy the cast. And especially since that this is the Fantastic Four I've seen the most out of all of them, I have more nostalgia for it, so I enjoy it just a tad bit more. And of course you get that 2000 CGI. That's always distracting, but it's still very enjoyable.
We will protect you.
But that's now where we get our newest Fantastic Four movie. Now, although I can't say that this film is fantastic, it is pretty close to being fantastic. This cast of characters, you can 100% see why they were casted in the role. They embody them perfectly. You can see why they were casted. And you just instantly fall in love with these characters. Like how you fell in love with the Guardians of the Galaxy. You see their dynamic play off each other. That's what makes you love them even more. Especially between Human Torch and The Thing. Their dynamic, like always, is huge. Sue and Reed, husband and wife. Of course, you want that couple dynamic. They nailed it. And Galactus. I'm a huge fan of Galactus, and I'm glad to say that they nailed him perfectly. He was by far my favorite part of this film. You feel his stakes. You feel like his scale of how huge he is. He was fantastic. But this film is not fantastic because of a pacing issue and some things not being explained fully. But overall, this is the best adaptation of the Fantastic Four, and I'm glad that this is the MCU's version because I can't wait to see how these characters interact with the Avengers, X-Men, other characters like that next year in Doomsday. But anyways, if you like this video, maybe these ones on the side will see you too. Like, subscribe, see you guys next time. Goodbye.